lindo usted. Qué lindo usted. Qué lindo. Qué lindo es usted. Hello. This is beauty. The real beauty. Look how beautiful he is. Today, it's a very hot day today. Very hot. I live in the desert, so it is quite hot today, but it is beautiful. And I want to talk to you about terminology and very important subject. And this is, who is the Antichrist? And of course, in order to really understand who the Antichrist is, we have to go to the beginning of time. It's eschatology and the end times too. We cannot know who he is without understanding the beginning of things, because he is the incarnation of Satan, that entity that when he was asked to pay homage to the image of man, refused to follow the will of God and says, I am of a higher nature than this creature. I will not bow my head to him. And this will give you an understanding of what is happening in our planet, that you feel, well, who would want to harm this planet and harm people who have never done any harm to him? Well, he does not feel the same way. He feels that his downfall was caused by our existence. And we who were made at the beginning of times to the image and likeness of God, became reduced by him, the so-called Anunnaki demon, because people call Anunnaki gods. Well, they call them gods because they were supernatural, but they are not gods. They were demon nature. God is love, and they have no capacity to love. So, revenge and hatred for humanity are characteristics of what he implanted in our nature, which was his own breath, in that image that he altered our nature, probably doing a satanic ritual, and he captured us in the sensory world, the three-dimensional world of time and space and relativity that we are encased in. It's a hologram. This is an artificial creation. It has been proven. 1917, Einstein came with the formula E = mc squared. And the first atom bomb proved that formula to be right. Matter disintegrated into light when the velocity of light was raised to mc squared. The matter was raised to the velocity of the square of the speed of light. And then it becomes energy. And quantum science has rediscovered the ancient wisdom taught by Hermes, the great Egyptian master. As I talked before, it was ancient knowledge ancient wisdom that has been rediscovered, who says all there is mind. Mind is the underlying reality. Consciousness or intelligence is the underlying reality of everything that you see with your senses. Everything is a mirage. It's like a hologram. And we need to know that and really start identifying with our true nature, which ultimately is consciousness, unlimited consciousness. And really use this vehicle, beautiful vehicle that the human body is, to project that consciousness of love and gratitude on this earth. So, one of the things I wanted to talk about today is the meaning of words, the exact meaning of words. And the word Messiah, which is not signifying only a person, but it signifies a complete whole that is divine, a human being or a being that can transform that which is matter into divine matter, divine. When we are conscious matter, which we are humans, we can be transformed into that which is divine, because that was our original nature. We have forgotten our true nature. And Jesus came to remind us of that. And he, with his life, not only with his words, taught us that we can overcome even death if we identify with our true nature and stop acting as if we are just matter. And we have not understood. This is why we are finishing with our planet. We are allowing this planet to be destroyed. Everything in it is being destroyed by the Antichrist. Antichrist means anti-love. Christ, the word Christ, means love power. The love power that moves the universe, and it moves the atom, and it moves you. Without love, there would be no form, no life, nothing. The whole creation would disintegrate. And so know this, okay? We are talking, when we talk of Jesus, the Christ, Jesus of Nazareth, the Christ, we are talking of a human being that was originally the love power, divine power, who left that realm of life to come and remind us of our divine nature and help us and show us with his life, not only with his words, the way to come back to life and be eternal and unlimited like he is. Because when he taught how to pray, he said, when you pray to the Father, you must pray in silence and not with vain repetitions, because he knows your heart and knows what you need. But you must hallow his name. Be in silence. But when he taught us how to pray in the outer form of prayer, he taught us a prayer, magnificent prayer of transformation. And he began with a sentence saying, "Our Father," which is extremely important, because he didn't say "my Father," "my celestial Father." He said, "Our Father." And by saying "our," he included us, his sonship and kingship, as part of that divine kingdom. So remember those words with joy, that love itself came to say to us, "You're part of my nature." We come from the same Father. Remember that, so that you can come back. So this is the first sentence. Now, Antichrist could not ever say that. Because his father is Satan. And God forbid that he would say to us, "Our Father." That would be scary. So words have a power, and they also cannot be used with the wrong connotation. So he said after, "Who art in heaven." So he is saying, who is, and I will say the meaning of the word heaven in the original Hebrew, that came from the Egyptian hieroglyphic language actually. Moses wrote that language. And when you say the word heaven in ancient Hebrew, and maybe even today some Hebrew knowledge is still connected to this word, heaven means a place within men in which that which is elemental in him can be transformed into divine splendor. How beautiful is that? So he's saying, "Our Father, who is within us, in that place where your elementality can be transformed into divine splendor." This is a powerful sentence, if you truly understand what he's saying. And the people of his time understood also. And then the third word that is so very important here, "Hallowed be thy name," because the name of God cannot be pronounced. God is the all, everything there is, the underlying reality of everything there is. This is why the great master Hermes of Egypt, when they asked him to describe the nature of God, he closed his eyes, put a finger on his lips, and stayed in silence, breathing. He was hallowing the name of God. So when Jesus says, "Hallowed be thy name," he is talking of this process of getting in touch with the divine within us. And then he says, "Thy kingdom will come on earth as it is within us." Then men will manifest in the outside world that which is within, which is perfect. Imagine, the human body is the most perfect machine there is. It works perfectly well, in spite of our interferences and our fragmentation that causes illness. Like he explains to his disciples when they ask him, "Master, you explain to us everything, tell us what is the worst sin of the world. And the word sin in Hebrew was understood well. It meant separation from the source, from God. So he's saying, what is the worst sin there is? And Jesus says, there is no sin. It is that everything that you do identify with your own nature that causes what you call sin. And this is the reason why you get sick, you age and die. How powerful is that? There is no sin. Oh, people say, how can he said that when he's talking about sin? Separation of God. He says there's no way to separate yourself from the all. God is the underlying reality of everything. But you have disconnected yourself from that reality. And this is why you cause your death, your illnesses, and every ill on earth. Because you are not aware of your divine nature. Hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. But when you are transformed by entering into yourself and being in silence, the Father will transform you and your actions will be transformed. And there will be heaven on earth. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth, and your will be done on earth, as it is in heaven, as it is within. And then he teaches us to not be greedy and hungry always of some self-satisfaction. He says, give us this day our daily bread. He didn't say, give us a whole factory of bread and unending bread, or nothing like that. He says, give us this day our daily bread. And forgive our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And don't let us fall into temptation, because the forces of evil have been here since the beginning, attracting men to seduce with outside things, so that he can never realize his true nature. This is the aim of the Antichrist, that we stay in bondage and can never realize our true nature. So remember, the Antichrist is anti-love. That's what the word means. Antichrist is not just anti-Jesus of Nazareth. Antichrist is against the love power of the world that was incarnated by Jesus of Nazareth, the Christ. So he is against life itself and against love. And this is the nature of the Antichrist. So much that one of the Muslim prophets that is talking to people about the Antichrist, which they call Dajjal. Dajjal is the Antichrist. And the Muslim religion expects the coming of the Antichrist, the coming of the leader, the Mahdi, and after these two have come, they expect the coming of Jesus, the Christ. the Messiah. Because for the Muslims, as well as the original Christians, the Catholic religion that was and is not now, the Catholic religion that was, Jesus is the head and no one else. Since 1962, the Vatican enthroned Lucifer as the head of the Vatican, and it has never been exorcised. So today, there is apostasy in the Vatican, and dark forces rule this place, and they're misleading thousands of people. Thousands of people are in danger. Their souls are in danger because of the great confusion being spread from that place. So we are not really close to the love power. In theory, we have to be in truth and indeed connected to it. And if we are not, the outside reflects this lack of. This is what Jesus is saying. If you are not identified with your true nature, you are causing death, illness, age, destruction, everything. So here, please don't let us fall into temptation and deliver us from evil, because evil exists, is there. You cannot deny. The Antichrist is here and now, and his influence is being felt all over the earth. Children are being damaged mentally before they can even choose to say yes or no to what is being done to them. Male children are being told they cannot say they're boys. The female children are being told they cannot say they're females, that they're girls. These poor children are being abused mentally. In Sweden, I believe they sent me an article the other day. Somebody sent an article the other day. They were forcing, I think in Germany, was Germany doing this to children, and Sweden, they're forcing children to dress the boys as if they were girls. This is child abuse, tremendous problem for these poor children. Children and animals who are innocent and vulnerable are being abused greatly in this time. Pray for these children. But always remember this powerful prayer of transformation of Jesus, who is saying, come back to your true identity and be knowing that God is within you, and make contact with Him in silence, in reverence, and He will transform you so that you start acting correctly, and then there will be heaven on earth. If you don't do that, don't expect any change, but the drastic, terrible destruction that will come. Because the forces of evil are very loyal to their goal. Their hatred is unlimited, and they are loyal to their ends. That is obvious in our society, who is suffering greatly in many, many ways. And I don't have to talk about that now, because we all are aware of what's happening. And much more is happening that you're not aware of. But it will surface eventually, if we don't change. Now, I want to say something again. This is a prayer of transformation. Transform yourself into that which you were originally meant to be. hear the words of the Christ, Jesus of Nazareth, the Christ. And be reverent when you utter those words. Know what you're saying. So for today, I will go and I will come back and talk to you about many other things connected to the meaning of words that has been lost gradually, and then our understanding has suffered from it. So stay in peace and pray the Lord's Prayer, the prayer of transformation that Jesus asked us to pray. This is the only one He asked us to pray. Bye-bye. Excuse my fan, it's very hot today here in the desert. Bye.